Today, we're jumping into a timeless story that's basically a masterclass in communication. We're talking about how to deliver a really difficult, maybe even a dangerous truth to someone who has all the power.
I mean, think about it. It's a challenge we all face, right? Whether it's with your boss, a friend, or someone in your family. Delivering a hard truth is tricky. You get it wrong, and you could be met with anger, denial, or you might even damage the relationship for good. So how in the world do you get it right?
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story features a prophet named Nathan, and he's got a message from God for, of all people, King David, the most powerful guy in the entire kingdom. And this isn't just any message. It's a direct accusation of a terrible sin. The stakes? Yeah, they could not be higher. Now, this is where it gets brilliant. Nathan's approach is just genius. Instead of marching in there and pointing a finger, which, let's be honest, probably would have gotten him executed on the spot, he starts with a story. It's a strategy. See? It's designed to get the king to lower his guard and really listen.
So Nathan begins really simply, almost like he's telling a fable. He paints this picture of a city with two men, and right away, he sets up a contrast that's going to be absolutely key to his whole message. On one hand, you've got a rich man with more sheep and cattle than he could ever count. And on the other, you have a poor man who has nothing in the world except for one single tiny lamb. You can just feel the imbalance of power here, can't you? It's stark.
And listen to this detail. Nathan doesn't just say the poor man owned the lamb. No, he builds this deep emotional connection. This little lamb wasn't just livestock, it was part of the family. It ate from his plate, drank from his cup. It was loved like a child. He's making sure David and all of us feel just how precious this one little lamb is.
And here it is. Here's the gut punch. A traveler shows up at the rich man's house, and the rich guy, even with all of his own flocks, decides to spare his own animals. Instead, he goes and just takes the poor man's only lamb to cook for his guest. It's just a shocking, cruel abuse of power. Well, King David is absolutely furious. He totally falls for it, hook, line, and sinker. His sense of justice is on fire, and he declares that this rich man in the story deserves to die for what he's done. And right there, the trap is sprung. David has just condemned his own actions without even knowing it.
Okay, now for the big reveal. With David's own judgment hanging in the air, Nathan makes his move. The story isn't just a story anymore. It's about to become a mirror, held right up to the king's face.
Just 4 words, 4 simple words that change absolutely everything. Nathan looks the king in the eye and says, "You are the man." Can you just imagine the silence in that room? The shock as that accusation finally lands. And then Nathan connects all the dots. He lays it all out. That poor man's precious lamb, it was a symbol for Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite. David had taken her, and then he had her husband killed in battle to cover the whole thing up. The injustice in the story, it was nothing compared to the king's real crime.
And this is the proof of Nathan's brilliant method. David doesn't fly into a rage. He doesn't execute the prophet. Instead, he just breaks. He sees his sin for what it is, and he immediately confesses. The goal was repentance, and it was achieved.
So, let's break down why this works so perfectly. First, the story completely disarmed David. It slipped right past his ego and his pride. Second, it made him judge the action on its own merits, objectively. And finally, Nathan just turned that judgment right back around on him. It's a 3-step masterclass in telling the truth.
But you know, this story reveals something much deeper. It teaches us that when you're delivering a hard truth, the goal isn't just to be right. It's all about the outcome. And that means how you say it is just as important as what you say. In this context, a message like this isn't meant to condemn someone or tear them down. Not at all. The whole point is to spark positive change, to bring someone to that moment of realization, just like Nathan did with David. In fact, the source material gives us 3 key aims for any message like this. It should be for edification, that means to build someone up, for exhortation, to urge them onto a better path, and for comfort, to console them. Notice a theme here? It's all constructive, never destructive.
At the end of the day, the objective is always restoration. The goal is to help someone turn around and change course. The intention is to heal, not to harm.
So what does this ancient story have to do with us today? Well, everything.
It gives us this incredible blueprint for our own difficult conversations. Think about it: giving tough feedback at work, navigating a disagreement with your partner, or talking to your kid about something serious.
The whole principle is summed up perfectly in this one little phrase from Ephesians. It's not about choosing between truth or love. The two have to go together. The idea is to deliver the truth through the filter of love.
So here's the practical takeaway. Before you open your mouth, just pause and check your motive. Is your goal to win the argument and be right, or is it to genuinely help the other person? Letting wisdom and a real sense of care guide your words, well, it makes all the difference.
But here's a really important thing to remember. You can do everything right. You can have the perfect words, the purest intentions, but you can't control the outcome. Your job is to deliver the message with wisdom and love. How the other person responds, that's on them.
So, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. The big action point is simple, but it is so powerful. In all your conversations, especially the tough ones, aim for your words to be gracious, full of kindness, and edifying, meaning they build people up instead of tearing them down.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. The next time you find yourself needing to share a hard truth, remember Nathan and King David. Remember that how you say it matters just as much as what you say. Because the way you choose to deliver the truth, it could absolutely change someone's story.